Hey. Welcome back to my channel. Guess what? It's 2021. Who is happy 2020 is over? Put your hands up. Put your hands up if you're glad 2020 is over. What a damn year. What a damn year. And even 2021 has not been off to a great start. And let's not get into it. But I decided to do my 2020 favorites in a try-on fashion. So instead of just telling you guys, I love this, I love that, I love the other, I am going to go ahead and walk through with you and select some of my favorites and put them on my face. So that is it. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them all down below and I will get back to you. And let the clip roll. Primer, and then like, look at this length. Girl, we got some extensions in and I am feeling me. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. We're feeling her. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay. So to start off, I had a few primers that I was obsessed with this year. Primarily, I think there's a few different brands that I was kind of like, oh shit, like that's my jam, that's my jam, that's my baby. And I think one of those brands was LA Girl. And so this primer is their HD Moisture Nourishing Face Primer. And that's been a go-to of mine. I just think it just creates such a flawless base for your makeup. And the next one is this WetnWild HD oil. And so I always take the oil first because like, duh. And I just put it all over my skin like so. Don't let it drip. But we just gonna do that. We gonna do that. Oh, and our cat ears. That's not very like us to forget our cat ears. But let me go ahead and put these on so we don't get as much makeup all over our heads and faces. And this one has a little bit more of a sticky base, which is great for your foundation. So I either use that one or I use this one. I think I like the LA Girl a little bit more because it feels more like a lotion versus the other one, which is more like an oil. But today we're just going to use them together because it's 2021 and we want to do better. Okay, for foundations, there have been a couple I've been obsessed with. At the beginning of the year, I was all about this Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. It was just such an easy go-to makeup product that I was like, that's it. She's my go-to. I love her. And I did love her very much for a minute there. But kind of as the summer started coming to an end, I switched over to a foundation. And that would be the Screen Queen. And this one's absolutely amazing. I think this is my most used foundation of 2020. Ever since I discovered her, she's just like the bomb.com. Another foundation that I've been obsessed with recently has been the Rare Beauty one. I think this is just a great foundation. If you haven't tried it, go for it. It's very much on the dewier side. And so today we're gonna go with Rare Beauty. I like to use this more in the winter because she is more oily. And since I tend to have oily skin, in the summer, I'll just sweat her off. And in the winter, she just gives me some good moisture. And this is a buildable foundation. So, and I also have a full review on it. But as you guys can see, she just kind of like seamlessly blends out. For concealers, there's been 3 that I've been obsessed with this year. And that would be the Liquid Camouflage by Catrice. She's fabulous and super affordable. And these are all full coverage. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer, Hydrating Camo Conceal, and the Milani Conceal and Perfect. These two have blown away any other concealer I have used. And I would say I do tend to lean more towards the e.l.f. one just because right now it's winter and I do appreciate that extra hydration. And as you guys can see, I'm a person who has some serious baggage here, and so it's important that I get something that's going to be able to cover all of it. All of it. So... And this is, you can get it at Target. It's a great product. I've really have used this quite a bit this year. And what I like is the shade. It's not a white shade. It's more of a cream, yellow. Yellow, but not too yellow. Not like a banana powder, but definitely on not an off-white color. There we go. My mouth. Two lip products that I love, and the reason I'm mentioning these is because I feel like my lips need some hydration, so I'm going to use them now, is the Wet n Wild Sleeping Lip Mask. This is thebomb.com. So affordable and so good, and I love putting this at night. But for the day-to-day, the Clinique Moisture Surge, if you guys saw one of my more recent videos, I got a whole Clinique package. And this lip balm is so good. And she's thick, but she will get you locked in and moisturized. So don't play her. And then for all over the face, I don't think I had one particular one that was new or, you know. So I'm just going to take this Wet n Wild one, which is like, you can tell it's been used and loved because it's even missing the lid. But it's the pressed powder. Photofocus pressed powder, and this is always a good one. If you're in need or you're looking, this is always a good one. And like, you know, when it comes to e.l.f. and Wet n Wild, like, don't pass up on these opportunities because they've got some good shit. And I'd highly recommend. Okay, now for brows, the brow game has been changed. I was a fan of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. That was like my go-to, my jam. I used it for many years. But now I've moved on to cheaper options. And two that I've loved tremendously this year is the Colourpop Brow Boss formula, although these formulas are very, very similar, is the LA Girl. Like, this is how much I use it. All my thing is rubbed off in like the year that I've had it. Do you guys see that? It's all rubbed off. Shady Slim Brow. That's what it is. The Shady Slim Brow. So good. So good. That color's fantastic. But this one is great. It's a waxier formula, so not super creamy. Creamy enough, but not super creamy. And see, like, when it comes to the brush on this pencil, the brush is amazing. And I don't know how they did it, but it's amazing. And then okay. And ever since I got the Rare Beauty gel brow pencil, this is what I've been using for my brows just because the pencil is like itty bitty. And you have so much control over the product. Like I said, I love that NYX, that LA Girl brush, and I just brush the gel through with that after applying it. I don't have a eyeshadow primer that is new, but one that's always great is the P. Louise base. It's like opaque, very little goes a long way. I've been using this for about a year now. Now let's go into palettes or into eyeshadow. Okay, by far one of the best gems discovered this year have to be the e.l.f. little quads, the bite-sized shadows. This is in jalapeno, pumpkin pie, and carnival candy. And this is what they look like. They're absolutely stunning. This is not all of them. This is only one little set. Another palette that was amazing this year was the ABHxAmrezy palette that was released in 2020. Insane. Feels like a fucking decade ago, but it is a 2020 palette. When it comes to traveling, this is one I always like to take for the pizzazz, the star power, for the if I want to do something different. And a palette that I've been obsessed with, I think it's already been a year, but it is the #1 palette I will always travel with, and that is going to be the So Jaded palette. You know, homegirl's been through it. This was a collab between Kathleen Lights and Colourpop, but this has such a good range of colors that you can go anywhere with it. You can go light, you can go dark, you can go pop of color, you can go neutrals, you can go reds, you can go blues, you can go purples, greens. Like, it just has such a beautiful combination of colors. This is the palette I used for my engagement photo shoot. So I definitely recommend it. And like I said, with these two palettes, I'm good to go. And I think we're gonna do a little bit of green, a little bit of brown, get in our feels, just so you guys can see a little bit of that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take Pumpkin Pie because it has some good neutrals in there. And I'm gonna start blending that in the crease. And these also pack a punch. Like, when it comes to the shimmers and the mattes, they all blend beautiful. They're just so affordable, and I'm just like, girl, how? Girl, how and where? So it's something, it's a go-to, I go. It's a go-to and I go. And then I don't want to go too dark and crazy, but I am going to use this dark green kind of to line the eyes. I think this will be like a good little like liner moment. And then this green right here looks a bomb. So I'm just going to take my finger, and this is so smooth. I'm just going to pack it right on the lid. Ooh, she is a beauty. And if you guys know me, you guys know that I love packing like shimmer shadows with my finger, because I just feel like that's how you get the most out of the color. Damn, I am feeling her so hard. I decided to bring y'all a little closer so you guys can see, but we're about to take this gold and just pop her right. Oh, do you guys understand that this was only $3? With $6, I am creating this eyeshadow look. $6 I can think of. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffier brush and also that dark. And I do want to smoke it out over here, but we're going to do it very carefully. Guys, tell me this isn't fire. Tell me this isn't fire. Speaking money into this next year for us. Growth, money, sponsorships. And we're on that note, go ahead and subscribe, comment, share, and all of the above. Wow, guys. You know, the thing about me is, like, I fucks with a green. I will forever fucks with a green. Because who is she? The cat lady? Yes. Okay, now let's move on to a liquid liner. There's been a few I've loved this year, Predominantly, this is my number one, the Essence Super Precise Liner. Go get her. She is thebomb.com and affordable. You can find her at Ulta, and I think that's the only place where I found her. The other ones that have been also good to me have been these two felt tip liners. One is Wet n Wild, which has a tiny tip, but it is a felt tip, and the other is the LA Girl. LA Girl has really been stepping up their product game, and this is just for comparison. The control that you will have with this Wet n Wild one is insane. But I did struggle with her at the beginning. And then the other one is, of course, the ABH Liquid Liner. I didn't like her at first, but now I'm all about her. So that's who we're going to go in with today, just so you guys can see. Matte liner. It's so good, we can't deny it. Okay, for bronzer, I actually have three, shocker, and they are all drugstore. We've got e.l.f., we've got Milani, we've got Wet n Wild. All three are great options. The Wet n Wild is definitely on the darker side and more warm, and the e.l.f. and the Milani are a little bit cooler toned. This is Milani here, and this one, which is barely visible, is the e.l.f. And the Milani can be a little bit overpowering, so just make sure you take a light hand and build versus just bam. Okay, but they're all affordable options and they're all amazing. Super creamy and buttery, if I do say so myself. And then for blushes, these are the three go-to blushes of the year. Rare Beauty has these amazing cream blushes. I highly recommend. I have the color Enjoy, but it just pats out beautifully. They do dry quickly, so use sparingly and move quickly. That would be those. And then the other two that I am obsessed with is the e.l.f. and Colourpop. This is Count Me In, and it's one of their Super Shock Cheek matte blushes. It looks like that. Very beautiful, very nice. And then the second is the e.l.f. And e.l.f. is a little bit more of a mauve toned blush, and she is in the color Always Rosy. Today we're going to use e.l.f. because, like I said, we like her. And I think that with this shadow a little bit more neutral mauve is gonna suit us better. Okay, and then for highlights, I do have a couple. I have the, once again, Rare Beauty in Mesmerize. This is by far a favorite of the year. So good. And in the summer, oh, we gonna be getting it. We gonna be getting it because it's so good. The other two are the NYX High Glass and the e.l.f. Rose Gold. This is going to be, unless you wet it, a more natural kind of highlight. So just be aware of that. And this is going to be a more wet. It's got like a little bit of a cushiony formula. I don't really know how they do it, but they did it. And I am in love with her. It's very similar to the Super Shock Cheek blushes in the sense that it's like, it has that bouncy texture versus a powdery finish. Look at her. She's so good. And tap it in. But today, because we're being over the top, we're just gonna go ahead and use the Rare Beauty. And although many would say, Brenda, you should have used that first, I probably should have, but this is where we're at. So this is where we're going, this is where we're at, and they're good. So let's just, I'm just gonna tap it in. And this one, just look at that. Do you guys see how it just transformed this highlight into like a liquid? She's so good. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our waterline. I've got, once again, a few different options. The Essence eyeliners are great, great, hands down, and super affordable. And the Milani, this black eyeliner, when I tell you it is pigmented, it is pigmented. Like, I have not seen a blacker eyeliner than this one. Look at, huh? We don't know her. Who is she? Okay, now for lips. The NYX lip liners, the professional lip pencils are amazing. They're just wood pencil versus a retractable one. And another one that I've been absolutely obsessed with is the Essence. I'm sorry guys. The Essence, the LA Girl, and the Milani. All of those are absolutely amazing lip liners. LA Girl is super affordable. NYX is very affordable. Milani's affordable. And Essence. All of them are super, super affordable. So I highly... also for falsies this year, I've discovered... Not discovered, but I finally coughed up the money for Lily lashes. And I don't know why I did it. I bought $20 lashes and I love them. They're so good. I don't think I can ever go back. Okay, now let's do lips. Now there's a few different lip products that I enjoyed this year. This year. What is that? This year. Like I mentioned, these Ultimate LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay On liners are bomb. I highly recommend. This one is in the good start to 2021. Keep it spicy. And for lip options, there's quite a few. The Milani Satin Liquid Lips are amazing. This formula is great. These two colors are Lavish and Velvet. Lavish Velvet. And then also Beauty Bakery On The Rocks. These liquid lips are also great. I highly recommend. They are much pricier, but it is a great product. And the Essence Stay 8-Hour Matte Lip thing is also amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the Milani Satin in the shade Lavish, just because, like I said, a lot is happening on the eyes and I want to tone it down. And like I said, the Milani ones are more like a oily base. They're not super thick. They apply super watery on the lips and then they just kind of do their thing. Dry out and then they become more of like a moussey creamy formula. No. Yep, I'm still bald, guys. I'm still bald. That's still happening in 2021. But girl, just don't look at me from the top and we good to go. Looks so good. And of course it was gonna look good. I used my favorite 2020 products. Of course it was gonna look good. Now I'm just gonna set it, and a setting spray I've been using a lot has been the Rare Beauty one. I think it does give you moisture, so I'm gonna go ahead and... So we have now arrived to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I give you basically all of the finds for 2020, and most of them are a very affordable price. I will link everything down below. That is a lot of products to link, but I will do it for y'all. It's gonna take me a minute to do it, but I will do it for y'all because I think that these are really amazing products and I do want to make it easy for you guys to access them if you're interested in buying them, or if you, want to give it a go. So here is our finished look with our lashes. And now I will say this, these lashes are like a lot. They are a lot, but once you put them on, girl, it changes your life. Like, honestly, I don't know how it took me this long to get Lily lashes, but these are the shit. But these are it, and they are gorgeous. And once you get them, girl, we ain't never going back. There is just no other option. So Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm super hype about how this came out. I am vibing. But okay, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. They will be linked down below and at the end screen as usual. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!